Soup, soup, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Neverdaily podcast. I can be as loud as I want today because we're not doing it live in the back door because I'm cheap and I don't have that on my Riverside. But today we have Kevin from the History Goon podcast. Probably heard of it. If you haven't, you need to go listen to it. So, Kevin, tell us a little bit about your podcast today.
So I run History Goon. I'm just a big dork for history, and I'm starting to branch out a little bit into some other stuff too. I've got an episode. I think the one that just went up to Patreon, where I talk about the Bay of Pigs invasion,
Okay.
which and like when the CIA went to try to displace Fidel Castro. And then there's a bunch of conspiracy stuff that kind of rolled in from there where it's like, I can tie this event into 9/11 and I'm going to do it. Cause I get like way down rabbit holes with conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But yeah, I've just been plugging away and trying to get into some different areas of history. I'm kind of like looking over at my whiteboard, like, where am I going next time?
What adventure are you going to take your listeners on next?
I'm pretty sure next time is the Civil War, which I haven't been there yet.
Okay.
But I've got a little bonus in between that I'm going to drop for you guys on Patreon early.
Nice.
Because I like you guys. You're cool.
Yeah, my dad actually used to have a rifle, a musket rifle. Like it had been decommissioned, but it was used in the Civil War. And
nice.
But if I looked too closely at my family history and where they lived and all that stuff, I probably would have been on the wrong side of that one. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of my family's from Missouri, so yeah, we're probably on the wrong side of history on that one. I mean, it could have been either way, but
yeah, because Missouri is one of those like they were right on the edge.
Yeah.
Whereas my cousin's father-in-law, they're all down in Tennessee. He has letters from his like great grandfather and one of his great uncles that fought on opposite sides of it, where they were writing letters back and forth to each other. Like that would be really cool to see. He's like, next time you come down, I'll pull him out. I'm like, yeah, because I'm only 17 hours away, you know.
Not that big.
I'll just swing by my way home from work.
Yeah, we drive. We've made 17-hour drives all the time because that's exactly how far away I live. Well, me and my wife live from each of our parents. So yeah, I've made a couple of 17-hour drives, only stopping for food and gas, and that's not fun.
No,
it's not fun. And I will never wish it upon anybody, especially in the middle of the desert, because it's like it's just straight. Like there's literally roads where you can't even see that. It just disappears into the pinpoint of the distance, and it's that straight.
Man, like, yeah, that's a boring drive.
Yeah, and it's like I don't have a self-driving car, which would be perfect because I could literally go to sleep because it's just straight as an arrow. Like it looks like it was laid out by a laser beam, as far as your eyes can literally see.
I've got a 12-hour drive coming up in March. I'm going to Indiana to go to a concert, so
worth it. Who are you going to see?
We're going to see Sabaton.
Nice.
Yeah, my friend David and his girlfriend Sarah, they have another show called Macabre Emporium. We made an agreement that if they ever did another U.S. tour, whoever lived closer would buy the tickets, the other one would drive out. And they're like, hey, they're coming to Detroit, which is 3 hours from us. And I'm like, hey, that kind of sucks. So, but it's going to be fun. It's they're good folks to hang out with, and
nice.
I haven't been to a concert in a long time, so be a lot of fun.
Yeah, luckily me and my wife go to concerts all the time because apparently emo's back in style again.
Nice.
So screamo, emo. So we've been a lot of 20-year reunions, 30-year tours of albums and all that fun stuff.
Aren't they? Didn't they just announce they were doing? What was that? I'm blanking out. That festival that they used to do.
Warped Tour?
Yes.
Yeah. I know they've still been doing like certain like small runs of Warped Tour, but I heard that they might be bringing the big boy back to the coast to coaster.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. I
Go hang out
remember.
with a bunch of other people with knee and lower back pain that are just like, yeah, look, I want to listen to Sum 41 again. Let's do this.
Yeah, that was the one and only time I saw Guar. Was at Warp Tour,
Oh, that would have been cool.
and so that was definitely interesting. And then another fun, it's not they're really small, but some people have heard of him as Andrew WK.
Oh yeah.
Like I saw him at Warp Tour. Like that dude is legitimately crazy. There's times where they would have 3 and up to 4 lead guitarists on stage at the same time.
Oh my God.
So like it was just a crazy. There'd be like 12 dudes on stage sometimes all playing instruments at the same time. Like it was just you'd have like 3 bassists and 4 lead guitarists and 2 drummers all playing. Like it was just it was crazy.
It's like Slipknot. They've got like 32 dudes in that band too.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fun times at the Warp Tours. Fun times
Yeah.
at the Warp Tours. So other current stuff I've been reading about because apparently I do that now. So here's a fun story. Do you ever see the movie Octopussy, James Bond?
Oh, it's been a minute, but yeah.
So they had, if you remember in that movie, there was like Fabergé eggs. They talk about Fabergé eggs in that movie a little bit. You don't
Yep.
have to remember, but Fabergé then after that movie came out, they actually went and made some James Bond specific little Fabergé pendants that are eggs. And then you open it up and there's a little solid gold octopus inside and all the tentacles. And like this thing is literally like the size of like the knuckle of your thumb, like the little tip of your thumb.
Oh,
But it like
okay.
opens up. All the suckers on that thing are like little mini micro diamonds. The eyes are black diamonds. So, anyways, there's one for sale in New Zealand. And some dude was like, I'm going to swallow that. And so while he was at the jewelry store, he was looking at that Fabergé egg pendant. Remember, it's about the size of your last digit of your thumb.
Mhm.
So he, chain and all, pops that sucker in his mouth
Oh no.
and swallows it. So this is it's about a $20,000 pennant here, necklace. So he's arrested, and they had to wait until that passed. And they were like, we're going to let it pass naturally. And on November 29th, no, actually, that was when he went to court. So he pooped it out before November 29th, but he pooped it out. And
Oh.
there's a picture of it on the internet on a paper towel. Someone with a blue, they rinsed it in the water. But yeah, whoever had to dig it out of the turds is still holding it in the pig pen. So I'm not gonna.
This guy just like dunked it in the prison toilet a couple of times. Like, oh, that's probably good enough.
So I mean, I wouldn't want to buy that after that. Some people might.
I'd probably I'd be with you on that one.
Yeah. So yeah, Fabergé ate it, crapped it out. They do small enough to pass. So if you ever accidentally swallow yours, just wait. He waited 6 days for it to clear his system. You might have to wait a little longer, a little shorter, depending.
Yeah,
Next.
I've never seen something so much that I was like, man, I gotta swallow that to steal it. I've never seen anything like that I'm like, I have to have this so bad that I'm willing to poop it out.
I'll do anything for that. Anything. So you probably grew up like I did, and we're roughly the same age. You probably thought you were going to get trapped in quicksand a lot more than you ended up.
Oh,
getting
absolutely.
trapped in quicksand, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I have a story for you then. We're going to my home state. We're going to Utah National. So we're going to Arches National Park. If you don't know where that is, just Google Arches National Park, and it's on the eastern side of the state. It is beautiful. Some of the best arches in the world. You've probably seen them in movies. We're talking about sandstone arches. Are in Arches National Park. There's a couple famous ones. There's the one that's literally on Utah's license plate is in Arches National Park. Very famous. Been in a bunch of old movies and stuff. So this lady, actually this is a dude. A lady got trapped here too. But the latest one was a guy was just hiking along in the sand. There's a lot of sand in Utah desert if you haven't been. And guess what? It was quicksand. Started
Oh,
sinking.
no.
Luckily, if you don't have one of these, you do a lot of solo hiking, you need to Garmin InReach. You need a Garmin InReach. It's very small. It's looks like a little tiny little kid's walkie-talkie. Literally push a button. It's on the SAT network. Push an emergency button on it. I think you hold it down for 5 seconds and it sends out an emergency signal to the same network that search and rescue is on. So they literally search and rescue would be notified. And all you got to do is push a button and it gives
Yeah.
GPS coordinates, it's like the best thing you can do if you're a solo adventurist. So he pushes it, and the search and rescue guy who gets the thing, it's like middle of the night. He gets up and he goes, "Did I just read that right? Quicksand." So you can text on the Iridium network with it too. And so they had hit the emergency, and then the update was, yeah, I'm stuck in quicksand. I literally, like, this person couldn't move. They were completely trapped, couldn't move. So a lot of people are like, quicksand is a myth. Quicksand is not a myth, but there are a lot of myths around quicksand. So you're never like, if ever, you're never going to like, it's not going to be like the movies where you literally sink in past your head.
Yeah.
Like your body is buoyant. This park ranger, he's like, I've literally never seen anyone get past their waist. He's like, that's where your body usually starts. He's like, maybe halfway up your, like, maybe to your belly button, but like, he's like, basically your lungs are going to keep you above, because it's quicksand is basically just liquid sand. It behaves a lot like a liquid, so you will float. Like, eventually your body will float, right?
Yeah, you hit that like almost like center of gravity kind of point,
Yeah.
and it's like you just can't go any further.
Yep. So yeah, you eventually have a buoyancy point, and it's never to where you can't breathe anymore. So but you are stuck. Like, I've been in quicksand before, at Lake Powell, and like, it sucks. Like, you have, like, there's no ifs, and or but about it. Like, at first I was like, oh, fun. And then I got up to like basically my mid thighs. And at that point I couldn't point my toes anymore. So then my feet basically locked me in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I couldn't lift anymore. Like, the pressure was too, like, I was stuck. So I had to dig myself out, and it took a minute. But like, that's pretty much what you do, is you just dig yourself out. It takes a while because it's constantly filling back in, but you basically just loosen it up enough to where you can kind of crawl out. But yeah, this person got stuck in quicksand in the desert, and that's like the dangerous part is he's in the desert without, like, once you're out of water, you're out of water.
Yeah, that's the bad part. Where then you're screwed.
So
One
the
of
same
my
guy.
Buddies.
What? Oh, go for
one
it.
of my buddies bought one of those because he does a lot of like solo hiking. He goes like up the long trail and stuff.
Mhm.
One of the Garmin ones, but it's like the smartwatch.
Oh yeah.
And it has that same like help feature with him. Like that's pretty cool. I was looking at his house. He's like, should we try this? And I'm like, my heart says yes, but my brain says no. Like, we're both like he's a couple years older than me. I'm like, so we're in our 40s and late 30s. I don't think playing around with stuff like this is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
It's not like when you're like 4 years old and you accidentally call 911 where somebody's be like, oh, it's fine. And it's like, you guys are idiots. Knock it off.
As long as you're cute, it's fine. That's how life works.
Yep, fair enough.
So yeah, this guy, the guy who went out and pulled the guy out of the quicksand, he was their most experienced rescuer. He had done it one other time, 20 years before. It was like an old lady. She was literally, this is how they found out she was gone, because she didn't have a Garmin inReach. She was supposed to go to her book club later that day. She didn't show up, and so her whole book club called in, and they went out and checked some of her favorite hiking trails, and she had fallen in some quicksand, and she was up to her waist, and same thing. Like, she was there for 12 hours, had gotten to her waist. So it's like, yeah, you're not gonna like suffocate in quicksand. You're not gonna drown in quicksand. You just have to relax, just like they tell you, just relax, and hopefully somebody comes and finds you, or hopefully you have a magic button to push.
If I remember correctly, I think one of the things they tell you with quicksand is to like try to spread out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not, if that actually helps.
I mean, I think it's just to help find your buoyancy faster, so you stop panicking as much. And so, like, yeah, you're gonna be, at some point you're gonna be buoyant, and you're not gonna go unless there's literally a vine dragging your ass underneath the sand. Like,
unless
a live
you somehow
vine.
warped into pitfall.
Yes.
You're probably okay.
Or someone's like standing on your shoulders. Otherwise, you're just gonna eventually get to a point where you're just stuck. Like, that's pretty much all it is. I'm stuck.
There's somebody like standing outside, like putting their foot on your head, like, just go.
Just relax. Just go.
Take a deep breath. You'll be okay.
Yeah. So here's my last little news bit. Did you hear about the prisoners who tried to get they didn't order it. Let's put it this way. Somebody tried to use a drone, though, to drop some food off to their homies in prison.
I think I heard about that.
So yeah, South Carolina, and there's a picture on it. You can go find it online. So this drone drops a package on the prison yard, but luckily, a prison guard saw it happen, so he went and confiscated it. So when it gets there, this package had crab legs, an uncooked steak. It had a Ziploc bag full of weed,
Yeah. Okay.
a carton of cigarettes, and to top it all off, you got to have your Old Bay seasoning for your crab
Absolutely.
legs.
Yeah. Crab legs. Yeah. You absolutely have to have Old Bay for that.
Yes. So yeah, the bag of weed is seriously like a Ziploc bag full of weed. Like it's not just like a little baggie, like it's the big gallon-sized
Okay.
Ziploc
Yeah.
bag.
Like a big freezer bag, not like the goldfish snack bag.
Yep. So yeah, you got like a big old freezer bag full of weed, carton of cigs, steak, crab legs, and Old Bay. Poor guys didn't get it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. You know, those guards had a good night though.
Yep.
We're gonna boil these crab legs up and
warden. It was only the little sandwich bag size of weed. It wasn't the big one. It was just the sandwich.
There was no weed in there at all. That's crazy. It was seasoning. It was the Old Bay.
He literally has like just grease all over his face. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
His eyes are like 4 different shades of red. He's like, no.
I need a nap. I need a nap. And I really, really want to watch a Space Odyssey.
Do you still have Cheetos in the locker? No? Oh, that's too bad.
How about
what a
Funyuns? Funyuns, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Funyuns. Oh, I love Funyuns.
That's always like, I remember watching Half Baked as a kid who didn't even smoke weed, and I'm just like, this is the best. I don't know half the references in it, but it's still funny. And then that's one of my favorite is just, and Funyuns, man. Funyuns.
You killed a police horse? I didn't mean to. It was an accident.
He's a diabetic. That's still in the best.
What does he give us? Snowballs?
Yeah, Snowball. Yeah. Snowball. And that's, if you haven't seen Half Baked, it's Dave Chappelle, prime Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Prime.
Jim Brewer and Harlan Williams also.
Harlan Williams, yep.
And I cannot for the life of me remember the other guy. The guy that worked at the Burger King.
Half Baked.
You're cool. I quit.
Yeah. I hear Jerry Garcia in my head, man.
Then he just shows up.
And then the best is like you have, Tommy Chong's in it. Snoop Dogg was in it. Willie Nelson was in it. Like all the cameos of who they're selling to. Like Willie Nelson pulls out I remember when a dime bag used to cost a dime, man. Good movie.
Oh, Bob Saget at the Narcotics Anonymous meeting.
Yes.
Oh my God,
that's when I realized I didn't know Bob Saget did much. Like as a kid, it was always Bob Saget's on Funniest Home Videos, right?
Yeah.
And then you go listen to his comedy, and you're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. Like you were on Full House, man. What is going on here?
Yeah. Like who are you?
I watch you with my grandma. You're a bad person.
Yeah. He's got some horrible jokes.
Oh man.
But yeah,
the other one that surprised me with his stand-up was Bill Cosby. Back in the day, I was like,
"Oh yeah,
holy crap, okay."
And just like, "Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay."
Then if you were a kid, like our generation, if you watched Thomas the Tank Engine, where you had like the conductor,
yeah,
and you're like, "Oh, this guy's really cool," and then you watch George Carlin stand up, and you go, "Oh, this guy's actually really cool."
Yeah, he is. I love George Carlin.
Then they replaced him with Ringo Starr.
That was
such a downgrade.
Yeah, anything Ringo Starr's in is a downgrade.
Yeah, especially the Beatles. Ugh.
Yeah, some of those guys thought they were way too cooler than they were, and they're just right.
I never liked them.
I was never. I like. There's a couple Beatles songs I do like, but they're mostly covers of Beatles songs.
You're right.
Like there's a couple Joe Cocker did. Like I really like Joe Cocker. He all his voice sings just like this.
Yeah.
He has one of those like super growly. He does With a Little Help from My Friends.
Yes. Okay.
Like that version of that song is one of my favorite. And then he also does Come Together. He has a cover of Come Together that's really good. It was my go-to for when I would do karaoke.
Oh, perfect.
The Ancient Art of Fighting with Song.
the ancient Japanese art of sing fighting.
Yes. Karaoke. So those my little snippets I brought. So just funny little news things. Get us through the day.
I was trying to search over like I was like, oh, I wonder if I can find any like cool Vermont stories. And it's just the biggest news here is like if somebody's cows get out and block Route 7 for an hour and a half. I mean, like I messaged in the group chat last night. I had to drive 3 hours round trip to replace my mouse.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, this is it's great.
Yeah, if the next town over doesn't have it, that's me too. It's just like I can go to a Fred Meyer. If anyone knows, it's a giant Kroger store owned by Kroger Company. But yeah, it's a giant grocery store, and if they or Walmart don't have it, I got to drive an hour and a half to get it.
Yep. I checked Walmart and then I checked Staples, which are on opposite ends of the town that I went to, and I was like, well, I guess I'm driving to a different state at 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and like I go, and the only thing in the next town over is Oregon State University. So if they don't have in that town, then it's like, okay, now I got to drive 2.5 hours to Portland.
Oh.
One way. Yeah, it's not fun. I live out, like, Oregon, people don't realize how rural Oregon is, because once you get out of, like, the valley is what everyone calls it, there's nothing. Like, nobody actually lives there. The coast,
Yeah,
like, the biggest town on the coast is, like, 35,000 people.
Wow.
On the whole entire Oregon coast. And so it's just, like, maybe 45,000, I think, at the top end. And I'm pretty sure most of those people don't even live there year round. Like, that's just part-time residents. And so, like, outside of that, like, outside of Portland and Eugene, or like, there's nothing in Oregon.
Yeah.
So we always say Portland and Eugene always make the choices for the entire rest of the state.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm in the same state. It's Burlington is the only city here that. So like Vermont goes generally like for presidential elections, Vermont goes blue.
Mm-hmm.
If you took Burlington out of it, we would be a red state.
That's
like
that's
1,000% of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one way or the other, it doesn't matter to me, but it's like we've got, and it's because the college is there, and like Fish is from there and all that, and then Ben and Jerry's factory is like 20 minutes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's just like the rest of us that are like in the woods with guns and stuff. We're like,
yep.
Whatever.
That's exactly how Oregon is. It's like everywhere you go, you're just like a lot of people come visit me and they're like, I thought it'd be a lot more liberal than this. I'm like, it is if you go to Portland and Eugene.
Yep.
And then I'm like, and then there's like tiny little pockets. But I was like, other than that, like last time I looked at the counties, and every county voted red this last election except for the counties that Portland and Eugene was in. And then Corvallis, which is the other town, they get kind of close to flipping blue every once in a while. But I mean, it's still like, yeah, outside, it's just 2 blue counties choose the fate of the state.
Yeah. I mean, like the town that I'm in, we the last census that I saw, we had like 2,200 people here.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to high school 10 minutes from where my house is now. I live within 5 minutes of my parents' house, like where I grew up. And I can remember my junior and senior year, so it's like 2005, 2006, going to school, and you would lose count of how many trucks you saw with like just a rifle or a shotgun in the back window, depending on what time of year it was, and nobody said a word.
Yeah, like every once in a while, a teacher might come in and be like, hey, because we had like this resource officer that was kind of a jerk, and he wasn't even there my whole high school career. It was like my senior year. They finally brought in a resource officer for the school. And like, yeah, that was the thing. It was like, all right, everyone remember, put your shotguns and rifles under the seats of your trucks. And like, that was it. Like, it was just one of those things where it's just like, we just don't want to see it. Like, we don't care that it's there. We just don't want to see it. And so like, we would like, I carried a pocket knife every day at school, like a big old folding pocket knife. And like, that was the things teachers would be like, oh, hey, like they would close their eyes and be like, I need a knife real quick. And they just close their eyes. And like every single boy in class would pull out a knife, and there'd be like 15 on the desk, and they'd be like, okay. And then they use real quick, and then Kevin, close my eyes. Everyone come get your knives. Same thing like happened with lighters too. Like, I need a lighter real quick. I need to melt something. I'm going to close my eyes. And then like 20 lighters appear out of nowhere. That was like, the teachers all knew it was there. They just, well, if I can't see it, then I can't say anything about it.
Yep. I can't write you up if I don't know about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the closest we ever got to anybody like getting in trouble. Was like, just take it out of the thing and cover it up with a jacket or something.
Yeah.
Okay, you know.
Okay. But
And
yeah,
there's like, I think we had one kid ever like actually bring like a gun into school, and it's because he had the wrong backpack and he had his handgun in it,
yeah.
and he came in at like 17 with with a pistol and just like, oh crap, just stuck it in his locker.
Oopsies.
Then of
My
course like
bad.
rumor starts going around like, hey, so and so's got a gun with him. You want to
Yeah.
see it?
Want
Yeah.
to see it?
Let's go walk around. Let's go check it out.
I've had jobs like that too, where everyone is a gun owner, and it's just like there was one time where we were all going shooting after work, but instead of like going and looking at our guns outside, we all brought them in and just laid them over everyone's workbench. And like someone came in and there's literally like I think there's like 7 rifles and like 20 handguns just sitting all over our workbenches, and it was the owner of the company, and she just goes, nice guns, and then walks upstairs to her office, and that was it. And I'm just like, where do we live? Like, that this is just normal.
She gets up there and she's like, I hired crazy people.
Yeah.
Like when I worked at the dealership, there was me, the service manager, and at least 4 of the technicians. Like, if anything ever happened in there, it wouldn't have gotten out of the showroom.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah.
No, as long as you don't say anything. And it was the same thing where it's like, yeah, I just don't want to know about it. That was just, I was just always like, everyone's like, I don't care. I just don't want to know about it, because then legally there's some things I'm supposed to care about, but if I don't know, then I don't have to care about it.
Yeah, there was that section in the employee handbook. They're like, oh, you can't have a weapon on the property, and we just like look at it like, sure,
yeah, okay,
okay,
yep.
We'll pretend that we don't then.
Yeah, I think
one of
I
the
read
dudes
that
had a 45 in his lunchbox. I'm like, so he had like the little tray that he had all of his stuff set on, and then his gun underneath it.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And the crazy thing is there's people out there who are listening just going, oh, crazy. This is absolute psycho town. I'm like, that's just how it was growing up. Like,
yeah, then if you're watching.
Yeah. Is that a Mosin Nagant?
It sure is.
Those things are pile drivers, man.
That is an actual Russian Mosin Nagant also.
Ooh, I've shot one of those. Those like my buddy had one, and it had like the stamp on it and everything,
Mm-hmm.
like the what is this, the smack in stamp on it, and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Yep. The only thing I'm missing for that is the bayonet.
The bayonet.
But my other Mosin Nagant is like Bulgarian or something. It's like some like heap of shit that they dug out of a hillside somewhere. Where like throw it in Cosmoline and throw it in a bag.
Yeah.
But no, I actually I traded a guy that I used to work with at the dealership something for that before you could. So Vermont, you can't private sell firearms anymore.
Oh yeah.
But it was right before the cutoff date.
Mm-hmm.
We did a trade in the parking lot, and I ended up with a really cool rifle, and he ended up with a rifle that I didn't want.
Yep. Most states allow you to gift firearms, and you can exchange gifts.
They're very weird about it. I've got some family down in Connecticut where, like, if I were going to go down to like turkey hunt with my cousin,
mm-hmm.
if I leave my shotgun at his house and go back to my hotel, I would legally have to fill out a piece of paper saying that I'm transferring ownership of this firearm to him temporarily.
Oh, geez.
Like, that is the stupidest thing.
Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah, there's a lot of laws that people are just they're the worst, and they don't do anything. They literally don't do anything at all.
No.
They
affect people that follow gun laws.
Yeah, it just makes it more annoying for the people who are never going to use their guns for bad reasons. All the people following the laws, they also follow the law of, not murdering people. It's weird.
Correct.
It's weird to think about that, right? If you follow all the laws, it's weird.
Weird. Yeah. It makes no sense that, someone who's never had the urge to kill somebody, that, all of a sudden you're a criminal because you own a piece of equipment, basically.
Yeah.
There was a guy I followed on Twitter for a very long time that did he got up to like 2,200 days. He did a long running series of my AR-15 is loaded and it's next to the door and it still hasn't run out and shot anybody.
Yeah.
And it was always in the same exact spot. Like if you followed it through, you could actually start to see like the dust build up on the optic and stuff. I was like, yeah, man, that's not going anywhere. Like you should probably oil it, but
yeah, No, don't oil it. Learn your lesson the hard way.
If you have an AK, you don't have to oil it. Like those just run. Like
That's because
ARs,
they're made
my
out of
ARs at least
they're
are
made out of
very picky.
press shovels. They literally press shovels, and you can press a shovel into an AK.
Yep.
But
Yep.
all right. So, what did you bring for us today?
So I have a story of possibly the most unlucky Japanese person that has ever existed. I don't know if you guys have covered this yet or not.
I haven't heard of it, and
Okay.
that's pretty hard to do considering what we did.
Well, that's what we call foreshadowing. So
Yeah.
I've got the story of Tsutomu Yamaguchi, which is, I mean, that's just the most Japanese name that you could ever come up with. So he's born March 6th, 1916, obviously in Japan.
Mhm.
As a young man, he went to work for the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Company as a marine engineer. So he designed like oil tankers, oil rigs, stuff like that. And a thing happened in the early 40s. Well, Japan had been doing a thing since like the mid 30s or so, and then they did a big thing in the 40s. And we had to provide corrective action for that. Um, so he wasn't a huge fan of the whole like going to war with the United States thing because he knew he was smart enough to know what would happen.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, and I think prior to that, America and Japan had actually had half decent relations, like leading up to this point, right? Well, before,
for the most part, yeah.
like, yeah, they weren't like they didn't hate each other. Like it wasn't like a big pissing match. This is like in the 20s and stuff, leading up to all the
Yeah,
garbage.
it was kind of more like you do your thing, we're going to do ours, and we're
Yeah.
just going to not like
Yeah, we're just
interact, kind of.
yeah, we're just gonna pretend the other doesn't exist.
Exactly. Except for that one time in like the mid 1800s where we realized that you guys existed, and we're like, hey, here's a bunch of guns.
Yeah, here you go.
Y'all still fighting samurai? Here you go. We'll fix that.
Yeah.
So he's not too keen on the idea of being just like a cog in the war machine of, all this. He actually had a quote later in life. He said, quote, I never thought Japan should have started a war. We should have treated the Chinese better and stayed out of it. Absolutely agreed. And at one point when he first got involved with all of this, like building machinery for like the war cause, he considered honor killing his entire family and overdosing on sleeping pills. So he wasn't a big fan, to say the least. He spends a lot of time traveling for work, mostly by train.
Okay.
One day he's getting ready to head home after a 3-month business trip on the morning of August 6th, and he and two of his colleagues, a man named Sato and another one named Iwagana, I think is where we're going to go with the pronunciation on that one. So they're walking to the station, and he realizes that he has forgotten his work ID, and he needs to go back and get it. He tells his guys, like, hey, take the train. I'll get on the next one. No big deal. See you back at the office. He gets ready to take the 8:30 train. So he's about an hour behind his work buddies.
Okay.
Gets his ID, starts back towards the station, and he heard an odd sound that he called, quote, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. This is why I don't do this live, because I can't read my own typing. He heard, quote, a plane flew over and I saw something fall from the back of it. I saw 2 small parachutes and then a great flash in the sky before I was blown over. So, spoiler alert, that was Little Boy. The atomic bomb that was dropped, it temporarily blinded him. It ruptured both of his eardrums. He ended up with some pretty gnarly radiation burns on the left side of his body. He finally gets his bearings and he drags himself to a nearby air raid shelter where the guys that opened the door to let him in were actually his work buddies.
Oh, jeez.
So they're like, oh, hey, surprise, come on in. So these guys are all burned and beaten up pretty good. He then returns to his home in Nagasaki on the day of the 7th.
Oh.
He gets patched up at the hospital. He returns to work the next day on the 9th. And at 11 a.m., he's standing outside with the supervisor, smoking a cigarette, describing the blast to Hiroshima, when he heard a distant whistling sound. Cartoon shit.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it up. This second distant whistling sound was Fat Man that detonated 3 kilometers from his office. He was completely uninjured this time. But with like the influx of people to the hospital, he couldn't go get his bandages changed, which led to like an infection
Okay.
and caused some pretty nasty fevers and what he called, quote unquote, relentless vomiting for over a week.
I wonder why.
Yeah, it's almost like you're not supposed to get irradiated.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's weird.
His entire family would spend the rest of their lives feeling the effects of the bombs, but for the most part, none of their ailments really popped up until later in their lives. His wife died in 2008 at the age of 88 years old from kidney and liver cancer, and he died in 2010 at 93 of stomach
Jeez.
cancer.
That's-
So yeah, that was Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the most unlucky man that Japan has ever created.
Yeah, it's like, how do you get more? Oh, you're there for both of them. You did it.
It's like God was like, you need to go.
There was a guy who, like, I grew up in Eastern Arizona, and there was a guy who was a World War II veteran, and he was talking to, I think it was like a school thing or something. He was there. He was at some, I don't know if it was, he was somewhere where he watched a nuclear bomb go off.
Oh, damn.
Like whether it was training or something, so he goes, yeah, they literally told us all to sit down on our butts, knees to our chest, and then hug our knees with our arms and like put our heads down. And he's like, I could see through my arms.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He's like, I could see the bones and the veins. And
oh my God.
Shit. Like, like when you hold a flashlight up to like your finger and it's like really bright and you can see the bone and the veins. He's like, I did that through my arms. And we're just like, oh my gosh. And then like we had another dude come and talk to us, and he was a POW in Vietnam.
Oh no.
And he was like, yeah, he was like telling, like, one of the stories I remember is like, he's like, yeah, so for our toilet, it was just 2 logs spread over a stream, and you just kind of shimmy out there and put your beehole in between the opening of the 2 logs, and then he's like, I started the summer with long johns. And he's like, I basically ended them with Daisy Dukes.
Oh no.
Because he's like, that was all we had for toilet paper was our own clothes. It was either our own clothes or our hands. And I'm just sitting there like 12 years old, just like, what the hell? Nuclear bomb guy and now POW guy? What are you guys trying to do to us? I never want to
teach
fight
you that war is
Evo.
bad.
Yeah. It worked. I'm just like, oh, geez, Louise. And like, those guys are just the warm-ups for all the other stories we heard.
Yeah, it's like then occasionally you'll hear I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a flamethrower operator on Iwo Jima, where he's just like, yeah, I ran up the beach and I emptied one tank into a pillbox, and then I had to run back and grab another one, and it was everything went fine, and then I got to the last one and they wouldn't open the door. Like, you expected, okay? So I climbed on top of the pillbox and I shoved the nozzle down into the exhaust vent and held the trigger until I ran out of fuel.
Oh man!
And he's just like he's explaining his drive home from work about it.
Yeah, like he's like making it. It's the same emotion as if he's making a peanut butter sandwich how-to video.
Yep.
First, you take this piece of bread.
The guy interviewing him's like, so how did that affect you? He's like, I'm not a big fan of barbecue anymore. It's like, oh my God. Like, Jesus, dude.
I mean, I will eat it.
1,000 people. I wonder why.
I mean, I will eat it, but
yeah, I just can't be around when they're cooking it,
Yeah. Ugh. I don't like the leftovers as much. Let's put it that way.
Actually, funny story about Iwo Jima. Did you ever see that movie Flags of Our Fathers?
I might have a long time ago if I did.
So the guy that co-wrote the book, Flags of Our Fathers, is actually he lives at the place that I work.
Okay.
Very nice guy. He's out of his mind, but a very nice guy. So I do have another one if we want to bounce back and forth, another incredibly unlucky person.
Sure.
Okay. I gotta pull my screen back over here so I can see. So this guy, his name is Roy Sullivan. He's born February 7th, 1912 in Greene County, Virginia. In his adult life, he became a ranger at the Shenandoah National Park. And I've seen pictures of him. He kind of looked like Gene Hackman, but he's just like this big, like wide, like outdoorsman dude.
Mm-hmm.
The first time he was struck by lightning.
I think I heard about this guy.
Oh, you did? Okay. This April of 1942, he took shelter from a severe thunderstorm. I lost it. In a fire watchtower. The new tower didn't have a lightning rod yet, but it had a lightning Roy instead. Sullivan described the scene from within the tower saying, quote, "Fire was jumping all over the place." He then had to run from the burning tower just before being struck by lightning a few feet away. It burned a 1/2 inch strip along his right leg. It hit his toe and left a hole in his shoe. Number 2 came July of 1969 when his truck was hit, which normally if like a vehicle's struck by lightning, kind of works almost like a Faraday cage,
Mm-hmm.
where you're pretty well insulated. It'll kill the vehicle, whatever, no big deal. The lightning strike hit a nearby tree and deflected through the open window of the truck as he drove down the mountain.
Lightning is literally sniping him at this point.
Yeah. Again, this is just like God is like, you need to go.
Yeah.
Why are you not dead yet? I'm going to get you eventually. The impact of the lightning knocked him out, burned off his eyebrows and eyelashes, and set his hair on fire. And the truck that's now out of control stopped about 4 feet away from going off the edge of a cliff.
Jeez Louise.
I hate to be that guy, but the third time he got struck by lightning, he was standing in his own front yard in July of 1970 when lightning hit a transformer and jumped to him and burned his shoulder. Good thing he doesn't get. Oh wait, number 4. 2 years later, in the spring of 1972, he's working at his desk at the ranger station when he's struck through an open window again. It again sets his hair on fire. He tried to put it out with his jacket and failed. He ran to the bathroom and tried to jam his head under the faucet, but couldn't fit. So he grabbed a hand towel, soaked it with water, and threw it over his head. And he said at this point, he thought the world was out to get him. 4 times. We've been struck by lightning 4 times, and now you think the world's out to get you.
Now you're like, this is weird.
Once is unfortunate, twice is a coincidence, 3 times, and I'm like,
yeah.
What did I do? Well, number 5 occurs August 7th of 1973 when he's out on patrol in the park. He saw a storm cloud forming and he drove away as quickly as he could, but the cloud, he said later, seemed to be following him. When he finally thought he outran it, he decided he was safe to leave his truck. Soon after that, he was struck by a lightning bolt. He stated that he actually saw the bolt that hit him. The lightning moved down his left arm and left leg and knocked his shoes off. It then crossed over to his right leg just below the knee. Still conscious, Sullivan crawled to his truck and poured a can of water over himself because, you always keep water once you've been set on fire a couple of times. Number 6.
Oh, my gosh.
June 5th, 1976. He's struck in the ankle and injured. It was reported that he saw a cloud, thought it was following him, tried to run away, but was struck anyway. Again, his hair caught on fire this time, too.
He needs to carry one of those fire suppression blankets that you can buy now.
I just turned it into a hoodie.
Yeah, just pull it over. Not again. Damn it, Barb. They got me again.
The last time he was struck by lightning, Saturday morning, June 25th, 1977, he's out fishing in a freshwater, a little freshwater pool. The lightning hit the top of his head, set his hair on fire, traveled down and burned his chest and stomach. He turned to crawl back to his car when something unexpected occurred. He didn't get struck by lightning again. A bear approached the pond and tried to steal the trout that was still connected to the fishing line, that was connected to the fishing rod that was still in his hand. He said he had the strength and courage to fight the bear with a tree branch. But yeah, he got struck again by lightning. And then September 28th, 1983, he decided he'd had enough and shot himself in the chest and killed himself.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that was like,
He's like,
that's
this
kind of
is
a
how you
bummer.
do it.
Yeah. Lightning. I'll take care of it myself.
My uncle through marriage, I think it was his grandfather. Anyway, they've all been in steel construction for a long time. Like they're just one of those families. They've been doing that work for generations, right?
Mhm.
And so I think it was either my uncle's by marriage, great grandfather or great grandfather was working on a big old building, and it was still just skeletal, and it was all ironwork. And he was on it when it got struck by lightning. He was like 80 something years old, but it literally melted he had a metal, just like a measuring tape, just like a
Mhm.
normal measuring tape. It literally, he was using it when he got electrocuted. It literally melted to his Levi's. Like
Holy crap.
it melted. So he had melted tape measure in his Levi's, and they kept the pants for a long time.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah,
didn't
why
make
not?
it killed him
Oh my
instantly.
God.
Like it cooked him like a piece of bacon. And they actually kept those jeans for quite a while. Yeah, and you could see the tape measure just melted into his jeans. And it
Damn.
was a big old monster bolt. Just cooked him. So yeah, it's some people walk away, some people don't.
Yep, I've been kind of close. Like I know it hit within like probably 20 feet of me, and that's about as close as I've ever been. But yeah, I mean, getting struck by lightning is not something I like have on my bingo cards, you know.
Two of the closest times, once was at scout camp, Boy Scouts, and this was in Arizona. The camp, it was one of those like legitimate camps, like where they had like a mess hall and like counselors like that were paid to be there and stuff. And so like just a legitimate summer camp, but it was based around scouts, right? And so we went there because our church would pay for all of us to go every year. It's kind of cool thing. So we got to go there for a week, and big old huge like eating area. Like they had a full kitchen and like a big covered eating area. Like they literally had soda fountain drinks there, like
Oh wow.
under the thing. Like you could just go drink as much soda as you want. It was awesome. So we're all just sitting there for lunch, and it's raining, and maybe 25 yards away, lightning. Like it was one of those where it's like blinding white flash, insane like thunderclap, immediate, right? Because it was right there, ground shaking, people were on the ground, like it knocked people down, and everyone's looking around like, what's happening? We look over, there's this tree just smoking, like
Oh shit.
just like you could see the scar down it, and everyone looks, and there's a porta potty at the bottom of the tree, like leaning up against it, and everyone's just like, no. No, luckily there wasn't anyone in there. But
Okay.
what could have been? Imagine
Yeah.
taking a leak and your like pee stream just gets electrified.
Yeah, you just go in there and you get exploded while you're trying to poop.
Yeah, just
Trying to poop out a Fabergé egg and you get exploded by lightning.
yeah. And then I was in a house once that got struck by lightning.
Oh.
I was in a kitchen. This was in Madagascar. I was literally making lunch. It's always around lunchtime for me, apparently. Making lunch, and all of a sudden, same thing, blinding white, like right out the window, instant thunderclap. Like I almost like got knocked down. I could feel like my chest, like something like hit me in the chest. And at the same time, I just happened to be looking like like I could see it out of the corner of my eye, but I could actually see what happened. The electrical socket was burned black afterwards. I literally saw like a little mini lightning bolt that was maybe 8 to 12 inches long just kind of like shoot out of it, just, and then it was
Yikes.
gone. And then, yeah, it like the plastic of the electrical socket was melted. Like, yeah, it had hit the house and gone through the whole electrical system and just fried a bunch of stuff. And luckily, like, I was dirt poor and I didn't have anything we didn't even have like electronics or anything plugged in. So, like, luckily it didn't fry any of our stuff, but it could have.
Yeah.
It could have.
You know, electricity's scary. I mean,
Yeah.
I do like some light electrical stuff at work where I'm going to change like light sockets and
Mhm.
like plugins and stuff. And I still like freak out like,
I've
I'm
been,
going to kill the entire electrical panel to this apartment so that I
yeah.
don't, you know, because I had one time I was putting I was doing a light over a vanity, and I thought that I had shut the electricity off to that bathroom. I had turned it off to the other one. And I've got the cables pulled apart, and I kind of like worked the back plate over it. And as soon as I had the back plate over it, I realized that there was a break in the wire on one side, and I hit it and like right off the ladder. I'm like,
Yep.
ah. Called my boss. He's like, yeah, I got electrocuted. He goes, okay, you
Okay.
good? Like, yeah, I think so. He's like, okay, cool. If you need help, let me know. All right, sweet.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, that's how common that it is there. When we're just like, you know,
I've had a couple in just, in residential. Oops, touched that thing that was not supposed to be touched. Locks you
Yep.
up for a second. But yeah, there's some dudes like I saw a dude get locked up once, like couldn't let go. And he got let go eventually when someone hit him with the 4x4.
just to
'Cause,
break
like,
the
yeah,
break
they
the
just to
connection.
break the thing, they smacked him. He just had his hands like locked up and he's just sitting there and then somebody just came by and just the boom knocked him back.
Damn.
And then he finally let go and they're like, sorry, I would have grabbed you. And he's like, no, actually, thank you. He's got a big old bruise from a freaking 4x4 like showing up across his biceps and chest. And he's like, no, it was worth it.
Yep.
Thanks for hitting me.
I don't look like fried chicken. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So.
There was another one I saw. I watched I think it was a donut operator video on YouTube. This guy was in a gas station, like causing a problem, and the police showed up and they're like, you need to leave or we're going to pepper spray. He's like, you ain't going to do whatever, blah, 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 blah. And they pepper sprayed him. And then they followed him outside and he turned and like ran at one of the cops and they tased him. It was like a bad batch of pepper spray and it set him on fire.
Ooh.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Somebody formulated that mix badly because I don't think you're supposed to catch on fire from that combination of stuff.
More barbecue.
Yeah. Yummy.
Yummy. So I brought something fun today that I'll share with everybody. And maybe you've probably already heard all these things. I don't think on this show. If you have, too bad. You're going to hear it again. So, I mean, I grew up watching some Mr. Rogers. Did you ever watch Mr.
Yeah.
Most people grew up watching, free cable, what is it? Free access television. Like it was free. Anyone could watch it.
It was PBS out here.
Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah, where I was is PBS. And so, yeah, just basic cable, public access. So, and we've all heard a bunch of the rumors about Mr. Rogers. And that's what we're going to talk about today is the rumors regarding Mr. Rogers and his life and what might have been or what might have not been behind the camera. So apparently, the internet has just decided that Fred Rogers needed some dirt on him. So they started making up dirt on a man who didn't have a lot of dirt, let's be honest. Like
No.
he was actually as we go through it, we'll hear that he was actually very similar to who he was on TV. Like he was being Fred Rogers when he was on TV. It wasn't an act. It wasn't anything else. Like he literally was Fred Rogers. Like IRL, Mr. Rogers was Mr. Rogers. And it's just weird because the internet, for some reason, a lot of people like to tear down genuinely good people because they're that jaded. They're like, nobody can be that. Nobody can be that good.
He's got to have
nice.
skeletons in his closet somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
No. Bob Ross wasn't a Delta Force sniper either. He was just a dude that liked to paint.
Yep. And so it's like, I don't get what it is about people. Like they just don't like nice people. A lot of people, for some reason, it's like, you can't, no, I gotta tear you down. And so here's the first one. There was a rumor, this was all over the internet, this was real, that Fred Rogers was a convicted child molester.
No.
Not a suspected of, convicted of.
No.
So the rumor, literally people are this stupid. They said that he was sentenced to community service, and do you know what his community service was?
Doing the show.
That's how dumb people are. So it's like, you know what? Your community service, can you imagine a judge just like, your community services, you're going to be in charge of a television show for children.
Yeah,
you molester,
with kids on it.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of people who tried to say that you never saw a kid on Mr. It's like, you saw him on Mr. Rogers all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they were on there all the time. So these are just idiot people. And so, yeah. So you don't need to know that the justice system, it's kind of broken. It's not that broken yet.
No, it's not good, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. And so some versions of this rumor were like, oh, like I said, you never saw any kids on the show, but you saw kids on the show all the time. And like, yeah, and like I still see kids on that show because I'm an adult and I get anxiety and I like watching stuff I know just to get my anxiety down.
Absolutely.
And so
Actually,
yeah,
I
like
got my 3-year-old watching Mister Rogers the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, this is good stuff."
yeah. And so to be clear, Fred Rogers was never accused of anything inappropriate with any child ever. Not one time. Like there's never been anyone who once even said, "Oh yeah, he said a mean word to me and it made me feel bad about myself." Like no one's even said that. Cuz yeah, like I said, he was the same person on camera as off camera. So another major lie, and you brought it up with the Bob Ross. For some reason, we like to think that people are Navy SEALs when they're not. Literally the hardest thing to become in the world is a Navy SEAL for the United States. Like the training is like the highest, non-successful training ever. There's more people fail at that more than anything else ever in the history of the world.
Yeah, I think they have like a 5% like success rate
Yeah.
of all the classes they go through. It's insane.
Yeah. So it's like, and we've all seen Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers. He wasn't a Navy SEAL at any point in his
No.
entire life just by looking at him. Some people actually say that he had a kill count in Vietnam, minimum 25. Well, okay. Some went as high as 150. Oh,
Nah.
okay. So it's just like, oh my gosh. And you know who else has the same rumor? So we have Bob Ross, we have Fred Rogers, and we have Captain Kangaroo.
I think I'd heard that one as well.
Yeah, so he has like, so it's not like, yeah, there's just something about people just like, he was a Navy SEAL. He was a Navy SEAL.
Even though, hold on, I'm going to pull up another screen here because I want to throw a picture of a guy at you. I'm not sure if you've ever seen him or not, but if you were to look at this guy and I told you what he did, you'd go, nah, no way. I got to find a picture of him in civilian clothing. Okay, so it is screen. I think it's okay. Yeah, so he's the shorter gentleman here with the glasses. Kind of
Huh.
looks like a banker.
Oh yeah, I see him.
Yeah, he was one of the original Delta guys. His name is Mike Vining. He is he looks like a banker, but
He looks like Rick Moranis.
yeah. He did a bunch of like let's put it this way. I'm pretty sure he was in Cambodia and Laos when we were fighting in Vietnam where he like wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then he did a bunch of stuff in like Grenada.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's something else. I have him on my list of people to cover because you look at him and go, oh no, it's just like a dentist.
He looks
Nah.
he looks like Rick Moranis from Honey when he was like the
Yes.
dad on Honey I Shrunk
my
the
God,
Kids.
yes,
That's what he looks
absolutely.
like. Like he has the same kind of haircut a little bit. Like yeah,
That's a fantastic comparison.
the glasses. Oh my gosh. And so yeah, Mr. Rogers, freaking Captain Kangaroo and Bob Ross, they weren't out killing people.
No.
Some people try to say Mr. Rogers was a master at hand-to-hand combat. No, he wasn't. He was a master at putting on cardigans and changing his shoes.
Exactly.
And it takes him like 45 minutes to do that sometimes.
That's
and
true.
he does it very gently.
And all those cardigans were hand sewn by his mom.
By his own mom. Yep.
Which is awesome. That's just so wholesome.
So he's not disarming anybody. He's not killing anybody. He would, if someone tried to attack him, he would give him a hug. That would be his recourse. And
let's talk about this and be friends.
Let's talk about this. Like, why do you think you need to do this? Like, we don't have to do this. There's other ways. So yeah, Mr. Rogers, not a Navy SEAL. The Navy has actually said he is not a Navy SEAL.
You imagine just some guy in a ski mask with a knife just crying, talking to Mr. Rogers about his feelings. Oh, what an episode.
And like, because you brought up the cardigans that, his mom made him. Some people are trying to say they cover up tattoos and his battle scars and they cover up these things. And it's just like, no, someone did point out that there was an episode where you saw him with no shirt on. He went to a swim, like he was swimming. It was a thing on like a public pool and, like going to the pool. It was like one of those little field trip things. And so there's literally a picture of him in just his swim trunks, no shirt on. And it's just like, he just looked like the skinny white dude that he was. That's what he looked like. Like, he doesn't even have like working man's muscles on him. So
he's got a bunch of biker tattoos he's hiding under his cardigans.
Yes. So he's just a very pale man who clearly spends most of his time indoors.
Yep.
So, yeah. Next rumor. There's a rumor that he was gay. Someone who is writing a biography about him, according to the author who wrote the biography, this isn't like he didn't work with Mr. Rogers on the biography. It was like a outside, someone just doing the research and doing a biography on someone.
Yeah.
And according to that person, and I'm not going to name names, they said, well, everyone who I was interviewing and knew him, they were just asking me if I knew if he was really gay or not. So this is like one person starting this whole rumor.
Ugh.
And it's like, he was like, I get it. He was soft spoken. He was very hygienic, took care of himself, dressed well, but that doesn't mean you're gay.
No.
Like,
And he's also got like 3 kids, I think.
Yeah.
Like, at least a couple of kids.
And he's been married to his wife, Joanne, for over 50 years.
Yeah.
Like, maybe his beard game is strong, but I don't think it's that strong.
Yeah.
And so, here's to his credit though, he did hire gay people to work on his show. Like when it still wasn't like, he would hire openly gay people to work on his show, during times when it was still kind of taboo to be openly gay, and there's still like way more discrimination. I'd say that it's gone, but he also he would hire gay people back in the day. He supported a gay friendly church. He would make donations to them and stuff like that. So he was pretty progressive, especially for his time in certain areas. But yeah, he wasn't himself. He didn't have any problem with gay people. Like, he had friends that were gay and stuff, but he himself wasn't gay.
Right.
So then there's a story about Francois Clemens, who played Officer Clemens on the show.
Okay.
So, he's gay. But at the time he wasn't openly gay. And apparently there's this little thing where, this is still a rumor, but Mr. Rogers told him he couldn't be openly gay if he wanted to keep working in children's television. And he even suggested to the guy to marry a woman, but I don't think it was I think he was just looking out for him in a sense of you're going to just know what this path entails.
Right. Yeah.
I think that could have been more what happened, and it might have been taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think he was just more of hey, I've been working in the television industry for a very long time, and this is kind of I've seen the pitfalls that can happen to you. And as a friend, hey, I'm just warning you what could happen.
Yeah. I mean, that would track. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. And so, Officer Clemens himself, Francois Clemens, he would later state, that, and this is kind of cool, Mr. Rogers, when he had started ending the show with, "I love you just the way you are," he was actually, Mr. Rogers told Francois Clemens that he was talking to him, after their little misunderstanding kind of a thing.
How could you hate this guy?
And so, and the guy said, it took me a long time, and then I realized after he told me, he's like, oh, he was literally he meant that towards me. That's where it came from. That was the root of it. He's like, I'm not. He's like, I love you just as you are, right? And that's how he felt about everybody. It didn't matter. He just, and Officer Clemens knew it was part of that was from their conversation they had. Just he's just informing him, hey, whatever you took from that, just know I still love you the way you are, and I wouldn't change anything about you, right? And so yeah, just a sweet guy. So now the next one's kind of funny. We've all seen the GIF of Mr. Rogers flipping the birds. That's real.
Yep.
Okay. That's not AI. That's not edited in any way. Mr. Rogers just happily smiling and flipping double birds off, right? So people tried to say that he was that was an after this show, behind the scenes where he broke character and he was flipping off people are trying to say he's flipping off little kids. People are literally no, that was the real Mr. Rogers when the cameras were off and they just happened to forget this was recording. And no, guess what? Remember the song that he's, "Where is Thumpkin? Where is Thumpkin?" That's literally the song he was singing on the show. And everyone has middle fingers, so you have to sing. He was singing about his middle fingers in singing about this is your middle finger, and he held it up. That's how fingers work.
Yeah.
So it was literally Mr. Rogers teaching children the anatomy of their hands.
Yep.
That's literally it.
The one that creeped me out more was him just like slowly pulling down that like creepy old clown mask.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh no,
So yeah, there he
Fred
has
Rogers ready for the purge.
yeah, the double bird was legit. So yeah, that was a real video, but it was taken out of context.
Yeah.
So next, here's another rumor about Mr. Rogers, that he was a nudist. And this is my favorite because of how the rumor started. 1998, Esquire magazine did an interview with Mr. Rogers, and the writer mentioned seeing Mr. Rogers naked in the locker room before they went swimming. Because guess what? That's what the locker room's for when you
Yep.
go swimming, is to put your swimming suit on.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, you guys were in a men's locker room changing into your swimming suits, and you happen to look over. That's on you, bud. Like, that's on you, bud.
I saw Mr. Rogers' wiener. He must be a nudist in the locker room. Like,
yes. And it's just like, yeah, so somehow this turned into Mr. Rogers. This is where it went. Mr. Rogers starts every morning by skinny dipping. That's how people took that. And it's just like, no, he was literally changing when someone saw him changing in a changing room. And so like some versions had him stripping down and jumping into random community pools all over the place. It's just like, oh my God.
Sure.
Why do people do that? I just don't know why people feel like they have to do stuff like that. He did go swimming most mornings as part of his exercise regime.
Yeah.
In a swimsuit, because he's not a pervert.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, if he's doing that in his own private pool at his house, cool. Whatever, do you, you know? Like, you're not going to to, you know, the YMCA or something and just hanging dong in the in the pool.
You watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I just literally watched the Thunder Gun episode where they just he hangs dong. He hangs dong in this. That's like one of their main talking points about the movie. Random strangers just be like, oh, I hear he hangs dong in that movie.
I love that show.
Mr. Rogers wouldn't do that, though.
No.
So here's the next. This is a funny rumor, too. It's the Halloween rumor. So people said in real life Mr. Rogers was mean to trick-or-treaters. He turned his lights off, chase kids away from his house, and yell at them, screaming how he didn't have any candy. His actual neighbors came forward on this one, and one little girl who lived a couple houses down said how that was the best place to go on Halloween. Like, that was everyone's favorite house on the street, because he gave out full-size candy bars.
I knew
he was a full-sizer.
I knew it. I knew he had to be.
Yep, none of those not little fun size. No, Mr. Rogers was handing out full-size candy bars, and he was giving them to everybody, not chasing kids off his property. So even the neighborhood kids that knew him were just like, nah, he was legit. Like, Mr.
Beautiful
Rogers
day in the neighborhood. Here's a full-size Snickers.
Yeah.
Like, yay.
And so, like, a lot of people went to church with him, too. They're just, like, talking about, like, even when the cameras weren't on, he was, like, the nicest dude. Like, he would always, you know, take his time to be patient with little kids. And even if they were not having a good day, he would pull out the Mr. Rogers card and, you know, talk to them. Like, you know, and that was one of his things, is he would talk to kids more like they were adults, right? Like, he would treat them like human beings and not just like, shut up, shut your mouth. You don't know. I know it's good, the best for you, which is how we wish we could talk to kids sometimes. But he was just like Mr. Rogers. Like, he was always just himself, like on camera, off camera. He was just himself. Like, he didn't have to put on a show to be Mr. Rogers. He just was Fred Rogers. And so here's another fun one that's really messed up. How many ties do you think Mr. Rogers had to the Ku Klux Klan?
Man, if I was a betting man, I'd say probably none.
Yeah, he had 0. But here's what did happen. At one point, the Ku Klux Klan got a voice impersonator who sounded like Fred Rogers, and they set up a call-in phone line, like, pre-recorded phone line you could call in, and the fake Mr. Rogers said a bunch of racist things on that line, but it wasn't actual real Mr. Rogers. It was someone pretending to be Mr. Rogers. So the fake Mr. Rogers would tell kids that AIDS was God's punishment for gay people, and he also would tell them to stay away from black people because a lot of them were drug dealers. So then those rumors started going around that was Mr. Rogers who did that, when no, that's not. Like, cheese and rice people are stupid.
Yeah. I mean, that's awful, but I'm also a bad enough person to go, I would love to hear that because I think it'd be funny as hell to listen to.
So Mr. Rogers heard about it, and he put on his big boy pants, and his legal team sued the ever-living shit out of the KKK
Yes.
and won.
Fantastic.
And won.
I love it.
So yeah, the real Mr. Rogers was actually the opposite of a racist.
Yeah.
In 1969, he shared a footbath with Officer Clemens, remember,
Yep.
who was black, on the show, and then he actually knelt down and dried Officer Clemens' feet. So at the time, you think about the 60s, like, it was a bad faux pas to get in the same water even.
Yep.
Like, there were segregated pools, right? Because people thought that was enough. That's too close. Sharing water with someone,
Yep.
being in the same water,
you can't have the same drinking fountain where you don't touch anything.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was a big deal for Mr. Rogers to literally get on there and share a foot bath, right? To basically say, like, no, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, and then he got down and dried Officer Clemens' feet. And this was during when segregation was still in full tilt, and he was showing kids that, we're all the same. Like, we're all just people. And so, yeah, like, oh man. So yeah, just hearing he sued the KKK and won, like, Mr. Rogers is actually going to bat and just like coming out on top. Perfectly awesome.
Spoiler alert, that would very much upset the guy that I'm covering for my next episode.
So now we're going to go to one of our most recent rumors, 2007, because, Mr. Rogers is old. So Fox and Friends, friends of Fox and Friends, they called Mr. Rogers a, quote, an evil, evil man, end quote. Take a random guess at their reasoning on this. I don't think you'll be able to get it because how stupid it is.
Evil, evil man. They said 2007, 2008, somewhere in there?
Yep.
He may have possibly said something nice about Barack Obama?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Dumber. Even dumber. He told children they were special.
Huh.
That's it.
Okay.
That's the reasoning. So
and actually, he wouldn't have said anything nice about Barack Obama because he died in 2003. I just looked it up. So I was like,
oh, he did?
Yeah. So that was 2007.
Okay. So this was post. So this must have been after he died. Yeah, it was obviously. So that's even worse.
Yeah.
They're saying this shit about a dead man. So one of their so there's they had on, or no, I don't think he was on the show. So yeah, they basically were saying that he was entitling children, and that's what his show did, was entitled children and making them be more entitled, and it's Mr. Rogers' fault. And there's even a college professor he's from a big university. He's from LSU. Like, it's not like he's from like North Wichita State Community College in the middle of like a 500. Like, no, this is from LSU. His name's Don Chance. He's a college professor, and he blames Mr. Rogers for modern entitlement. And this is his scientific method for reaching this conclusion. He said, and this is a quote, "It just hit me. We can blame Mr. Rogers." That's it. That was where this whole theory came from. That's his research. Is Mr. Rogers encouraged little kids to be whatever they wanted to be, so they're entitled now because of that.
No, like, as a parent, I can tell you the only person you can blame usually for your kid's behavior is yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're the biggest influence in their life.
Yep.
Yeah. And I learned that the hard way a couple of times with a 3-year-old, where kind of forgot he was in the car and got a little road ragey, and then he repeated it, and I went, "Oh no, don't say that."
Yeah.
Especially if your mother hears it, she'll kill me.
My first ever word I ever heard was bullshit. Not heard, but that's the first word I ever said was bullshit. First real word besides mom and dad was bullshit. So
Yeah.
That's when my parents like, ooh, he's old enough now to where he can repeat stuff.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I don't think that Mr. Rogers caused any problems.
No.
And here's a cool little story. There's this one little kid who would very much like to talk to Mr. Don Dinklenuts at LSU. And his life was completely changed by Mr. Rogers in the bestest of all ways. So this little boy was being abused very badly by his parents. Made him sleep on the floor, didn't feed him all the time. Like, they weren't taking care of him properly. Like, they were just giving him enough maybe to keep CPS off their back at least a little bit. But after watching Mr. Rogers, this little boy realized that his life was not normal and that there were adults who actually cared about people because his parents didn't care about him at all. But he saw how nice Mr. Rogers was, and he's like, "Oh, that's a thing." And so he called the abuse hotline, got rescued, and the cool thing is the person who answered his call at the abuse hotline center is the one who adopted him.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
That is awesome.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, my life cannot be this really shitty," and so he called because Mr. Rogers said, he convinced him he was good enough, that he deserved better than what he was getting. And so, yeah, just Mr. Rogers. So where was I? Sorry, I lost my spot. So here's the last story I'll tell. This one's kind of like the Navy SEAL story. This can be attributed to multiple different celebrities, so it's fake because it's the same story that keeps happening about different celebrities, right? So in this story, carjackers stole Mr. Rogers' car, but when they realized who he was, they didn't, like, that's the thing, they call him carjackers, but he wasn't in the car. They just stole his car. And then when they're like, "Oh, this is Mr. Rogers' car," they apparently took it back and left a note that said, "Sorry, we didn't know it was yours, Mr. Rogers." Which is a nice story.
Yeah.
But it's
We
not
saw
true.
the cardigans and the Converse. We realized it must have been your car.
Yeah. And so, like, it's one of those stories that's a little bit different depending on who's telling it. Sometimes they stole the car from his home. Sometimes they stole it from the studio where he was working. Sometimes it's one thief. Sometimes it's three thieves. Sometimes they figure out from props in the car. Sometimes it's from the newspapers or seeing it on the news, like Mr. Rogers' car is stolen. Sometimes it's not even about Mr. Rogers. Sometimes it's different celebrities. So it's made up. So, but it is nice to think that most criminals, they probably actually would give him that much street cred.
I would think so, especially being, Mr. Rogers. They'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's like, I remember that guy.
He helped me out.
Yeah. He
He'd
showed me
be
how to tie
disappointed in me if he knew that I stole his car.
He showed me how to tie my own shoes because my parents wouldn't. I think I need to treat him a little bit better. And so, like, that's the thing about all these stories is, for whatever reason, except for the last one, people are just like trying to like make him out to be something he's not, because they don't, like, a lot of people I think just don't like to accept that people can be good people.
Yeah. I put him in like the same category as like Steve Irwin, where it's like, this is a person that as a species we didn't deserve.
Yeah.
They were like just too good for what they were. And I would be just as upset if people were making up rumors about him too.
Yeah.
It's like, I might actually fight somebody over some Steve Irwin rumors.
I will say, because my wife's friend, she's a youngin, and she has a crush on Robert Irwin, Steve's son, and apparently he was just here in Newport, Oregon, like this last summer. He was like doing some touring the United States, going to different, like, because there's an aquarium in Newport, and so he was visiting it for a little bit. But I will say, so my wife watched the last season of Dancing with the Stars because he was on it. It was literally to watch Robert Irwin, like, and he's just like his dad. Like, it's the best thing ever. Is that we have mini Steve Irwin, we have Robert Irwin now. So it's like the universe was like, you know what, we kind of needed that guy. So the universe made his son like his little clone.
Yep. They I think it was on Discovery. They had a show with Robert Bindi and Terry where they're like running the zoo. And then like COVID hits and they're like, we might have to shut down the zoo. And I'm like, nope, that's not happening.
And it was actually cool because I didn't know that Steve Irwin's wife was American. I had no idea.
I think she's from like Washington or Oregon too.
Yeah.
Somewhere up in that neck of the woods.
So I had no idea. But yeah, he's just watching him on that show. Like, he's literally his dad.
Yep.
He's a mini version of his dad. And it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
love
the
it.
best thing ever.
Love seeing it.
So that's what I brought. So did you have anything else you want to talk about?
I got nothing else on my end, I don't think.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We
Yeah.
have filled up an hour and 20 minutes of people's
Yeah.
times. And we want to say, thinking about Sam and his family situation going on.
Yeah.
He posted a post on Patreon. So, don't want to give away too much, but yeah, there's just some medical things going on. So if you put out good vibes into the universe, just remember Sam's family right now. So just health problems with his dad and trying to figure out what's wrong, and just like, some problems, they're not as easy as do a lab and, oh, this is what's wrong with you, bud.
Yep.
It's like some things are just more complicated, and that's what sucks. Sucks sometimes.
I'll say is like the newer guy here at 11:59. The amount of people that responded to that
Hmm.
was amazing.
Mhm.
We got good people here. I like
Yeah.
that. Kind of like you've probably never met any of us, and who knows if you ever will. But you guys are awesome, and just wanted to say thanks.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone for taking the time. And some people like, well, it's just words, but it's the thought behind the words, and it's knowing that you're not alone. It's knowing that people care. Is just as important as someone showing up and making you dinner. Like, it's just knowing, like, okay, like, people care. Like, I don't feel as alone. Like, there's people thinking about me. And yeah, like, because that's what we as people like. We like being around other people. Even sometimes, even if it's just a little bit, we still like to know that people are thinking about us at the least. So
Absolutely.
yeah, thoughts and prayers, but more than that, thoughts
Yes.
and prayers and good vibes. That's what we can ask for. So thank you for being here, and make sure everyone to go check out History Goon. Tell your friends if you like history. I like
Yeah.
history. History's fun, and that's how you can learn. You can learn from history to not do dumb things again.
Yes.
That's the most important part of history, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some my first 3 episodes that are out publicly now have been kind of all over the place, but pretty heavy topics so far. Like I did space disasters for my first one for the season.
Mhm.
Talking about like Soviet cosmonauts and American astronauts that have all exploded.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 were about the Munich Olympic massacre, which was
Ooh.
not a light topic, and also totally not a hot button issue with like current events in the world and all that stuff with those 2 countries that don't like each other. But
Yeah.
it is what it is, and like, yeah, I'll cover it because it's interesting. And
Well, it's just like, what's that? There's a soccer match, a world soccer match happening in Washington coming up,
Mhm.
and
Oh
it's
yes, I saw.
and it's so it's like, for the LGBTQ plus community. I always butcher that because my, like, not good with acronyms. You can barely remember the FBI.
Yeah.
But anyways, like, so that whole community, they're having a soccer event, right? That's special. That's like bringing up awareness and stuff. The 2 teams that were randomly, like, they were legitimately randomly selected, both come from countries where being gay is still illegal.
I think pretty sure it was Egypt and Saudi Arabia, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Where,
yeah.
I mean, one of those, it's probably not a great idea to be a journalist either. But
Yeah. So yeah, that's fun.
whoops.
And both countries have asked that they change the theme, and the soccer gods are like, nah,
Nah.
have fun with that.
Yeah, it's like, no, when they had the World Cup in Qatar, you guys were charging people like $38 for a beer and then just decided you're not going to sell them anymore. So
Yeah.
you can play soccer for the gays.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be fun to watch. We'll see what happens.
Oh, boy.
Security is probably going to be extra tight.
Oh, my God. Either that or they're going to blow the whistle and everybody's just going to sit down.
Yeah.
They're not going to play.
Yeah. They're going to call in Kaepernick it. Is that a verb now, I guess?
I think so.
So we'll see. It'll be interesting. That's something to keep your eyes on, and ears peeled for. And we'll see what history comes out of that.
Yeah. I mean, probably, maybe something. We'll see.
Could be a whole lot of nothing. Could be a whole lot of something.
Yep.
So, well, we're going to let everyone get back to their holiday planning because, yeah, holidays.
Yeah.
You either love them or you're overwhelmed by them.
Yes.
Or both. It's mostly both.
Yeah, definitely both.
So, yeah, if I don't see any of you between now and then, happy holidays. And if you don't celebrate the holidays, then not happy holidays.
Have a good week.
Yes, have a good, regular, normal, cold winter day.
Yeah.
Or hot winter day if you live in south of the equator. I don't know.
I don't know how science works.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kevin, for being here. And
Absolutely.
hopefully we
Thank
can
you.
do this again in the futures.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, all right. And that's, I haven't ever had to end one of these by myself when I'm the one who's the host. So, bye.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.